Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 23 of my F1 2016 Force India career mode. If you guys have missed Season 1 and the first round of Season 2, I will leave links to the playlist down in the description below. If you guys want to check out F1 2010 as well, I will leave links to my playthrough of that, which has just started. We're 4 episodes into that career mode at the moment, driving for HRT. So as I said guys, I will leave links to both those down in the description. If you guys are new around here as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But I think Chris has got a bit of something special to show us. That is right guys, the upgrades we made at the end of Season 1 have finally come. You know, all those R&D points we saved up, and let's just have a little look at the upgrades we made. We upgraded the engine to get an extra 8 brake horsepower. Are we going to do any more upgrades? Well, I know we're definitely doing more upgrades. We're upgrading the engine once again for another 8 horsepower, so 16 extra horsepower here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Obviously very, very useful. A lot of straights around here, so you know we can be happy with that upgrade again. And then we've also upgraded the monkey seat to level 2 at 5, and another 1.8% downforce. So you know, very helpful generally across the board, obviously, just with all the different cars. And also we streamlined the suspension airways, and that meant obviously that we've got less drag, so the car will be quicker in a straight line. So we're really focusing on making this car an absolute beast down the straights. As we can see, Sauber F1 have upgraded a lot of things as well there. And just having a look across the board, as we can see, Mercedes are still top, with Red Bull, Ferrari, myself and Williams all incredibly close at the moment. But let's move on then into Bahrain Grand Prix. And first of all, moving then obviously into practice, doing our first track acclimatization lap. As you can see, we've actually managed to successfully get purple in every single sector of that. That's the first time we've done it this career mode, and I always find that when the track acclimatization really does set the tone for the whole race weekend. Like, obviously if we get purple in most of it, or we get like purple overall, I'm really happy with that. So to get purple in absolutely everything was pretty incredible. Now obviously onto my qualifying simulation lap. As you can see, we're right just in the red on this lap. Are we going to be able to just scrape it into the green? I think we're just going to miss out, but no, we don't in the end. The time actually glitched out there, so we did actually get the jump on it, which meant we ran a quicker lap than we ever expected to, and that was free practice, over and done with. And now, just having a little look through the R&D points that we did gain from that. Obviously, after that big spend, a couple of rounds, but we don't have many R&D points at the moment. But hopefully, you know, these R&D points will have helped us boost the car. We should be just over 500 R&D points now, as we got no penalties. There we go, 503 R&D points there. And now just having a look, what do the team want us to achieve in qualifying? They are aiming for us to get higher than Sergio Perez, and I didn't manage to read what time she said there, which is a bit of a shame, but still, you know. So let's move on then into qualifying. Obviously now in this career mode, guys, we are running a 3-stage qualifying, and just having a little look there, see if I could be bothered to upgrade everything, but I decided to back out of it. But yeah, we are now running full qualifying in this career mode now for Season 2. I just thought, you know, it's a bit of a step up, adds a bit more strategy to the game as well, and with tyre wear on this game is so crucial. I thought this could really help out. But coming to the end of our Q1 lap here, what time are we going to be able to do it as we come through the final curl now there? Absolutely missing the apex massively. We were sandbagging a little bit during these sessions as well, I would like to add. And we go in P4 there, just between Verstappen and Raikkonen, both on a set of soft tyres. It was a particularly good lap, but as I said, we were sandbagging. And as we can see, by the end of the session, we were in P11 there, so not really too much to worry about, you know. Not too far off the AI that we want to beat. Perez there in P8 as well, so Sergio having a really good, strong showing there in Q1. But now let's move on into Q2. And coming down the back straight, we are actually deciding to go on the soft tyres for this one, trying to undercut strategy the AI for the race. Obviously, if we can get to top 10, we start on the soft tyres for the Grand Prix. And around Bahrain, it is really close whether you can 1 or 2 stop this. So hoping, you know, that if we start with soft tyres, we could be in a good shot. And we qualify in P4 again there, between Bottas and Massa, so we're in a Williams sandwich there. So very strong performance there from myself once again, in personal opinion. And let's just see where we ended up qualifying. As you can see, we actually ended up in P8 there in the end, so we managed to get through into Q3. But my teammate Sergio Perez has not made it through, which is a huge shame for him. Sergio's down in P14, I'm not really sure what's happened to him, as both Haas just missed out there. But now moving on into Q3, as you can see, we are just on our flying lap here. Hopefully, you know, we may be able to get another run in, just based on the fact, obviously, where we didn't use super soft tyres in Q2, we get to use them in Q3. But depending on what this first lap is, we may not even bother. It's not really worth the tyre wear usually, as we can see, just getting a lot closer to the apex in the final corner. But it's just a corner that I struggle so much to actually hit the apex. Bit of a shame, I won't lie, but still, obviously coming towards the line, we go in P3. think that's just 4/10 slower than Sebastian Vettel there, if I can read the small little display in the corner there. So, you know, very, very solid lap. I was still quite happy with that. But let's just see then where we end up qualifying in the sessions. We're going to skip through the final couple of minutes here, as you can see. We ended up, yes, in P4 there. Sebastian Vettel takes home pole position ahead of the Red Bulls. There's myself in 4th. Valtteri Bottas there at a very, very good 5th. And Mercedes having a horrendous qualifying in 6th. And Felipe Massa 7th, with Rosberg the other Mercedes in 8th. Esteban Gutierrez there gets a very, very surprising top 10. Edging out Kimi Raikkonen there. And that was the top 10. And let's move on then into the Bahrain Grand Prix.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo and a Force India, Valtteri Bottas and Hamilton, Massa, Rosberg, Gutierrez and Kimi Raikkonen, Perez, Magnussen, Jolyon Palmer and Kvyat, Sainz, Ericsson, Felipe Nasser and Fernando Alonso, Button and Wehrlein, Rio Haryanto and Roman Grosjean.
I'm not really sure there, guys, but there seemed to be a bit of an odd glitch where a couple of drivers had been, I know Sergio, I think, qualified in P14, and for some reason he was showing up in P11 there, so not really sure what that's all about here. But now, just having a quick look on the race strategy, the team predicts we should be able to do a 2-stop on this set of soft tyres. We're also going to bring down the fuel, but I think, you know, we may try and stretch the 1-stop strategy here. Hopefully, you know, it will work for us. In AOR, if you guys are interested in that, it did not work out for us, but we also didn't stretch the tyres as much as we possibly could. But now moving on to the formation lap here, behind Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen. And hopefully, you know, we're just going to be able to skip through that bit now. And let's move on into the Bahrain Grand Prix. So 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix there. Verstappen absolutely bogs down as the lights just never want to change. Both Ricciardo and I from the second row are right alongside Sebastian Vettel, the poleman. And we're going to be up the inside into turn 1 there. Are we going to be able to make move stick? Daniel Ricciardo still shoving his nose in on the outside there. So both of us from row 2 have managed to get through. Sebastian Vettel has been tagged there as we've gone round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo there after making contact with him. Although we ran off the track, the FIA deemed it as a fair overtake, so we move up into the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. An absolutely brilliant start from myself. And now moving on to the end of lap 4, as we can see Daniel Ricciardo still right on my gearbox here. Hopefully, you know, for his sake, he's just going to be able to close in on us. We're going to go slightly defensive, give him the route on the outside here. You know, just hoping that he'll back out. When he gets us under braking slightly there, as you can see, he closes in. But then we just fend him off into turn 1 there. And Lewis Hamilton's actually going to be able to slot into P2 there as well. So Hamilton just getting very big gains from that sort of thing. And Hamilton now looks like he may be able to threaten us as well. As we come up towards turn 4 here, so you see just running a little bit wide there, just forgetting to brake a little bit there. As just through the corner, taking far too much cover, and that's giving Hamilton the run to go up the inside into the fast chicane. We're going to try and hold it side by side with him as we go through. That's really not recommended there, but we've managed to hold it side by side there, trying to make him go very, very defensive into the corner, trying to get the undercut strategy, just get the front end dug in underneath him there. And we move back up into the lead of the Grand Prix. An absolutely fantastic overtake then. Just making sure, you know, we were always one step ahead of him there. But next up, through the double left-hander, as we can see, we've accidentally run over the curve, and Hamilton's just gone straight back past there. Bit of a shame for us, but with the rich mix coming down this back straight, hopefully, you know, we should be able to get back past him into the next corner there. He tries getting us under braking, but in the second phase of braking, we just moved past him as Ricciardo's then just gone up our inside and then bogged down absolutely massively. So we've ended up going into the lead of the Grand Prix. And overtakes were changing so quickly there. That was incredible to watch. But now moving on to lap 11, as we can see now, the tyres are at 81%, skipping way into this Grand Prix here. As you can see, we are going to come in for our first stop of the Grand Prix, make sure we get the car slowed down enough for the pits. We probably were incredibly cautious of that. And Lewis Hamilton is at the Grand Prix there. He just had a terminal issue there. I think that was an engine blow up based on where he's parked there, which is a huge shame for Hamilton, but that has left him out of the Grand Prix. As we now move on to a set of the medium tyres, you know, hoping we may be able to go to the end on this set of tyres, but as we drop down the position, I think we're going to end up in about P10, I think. But we'll have to wait and see as we come into turn 1. We got a huge train of cars here, as you can see. Just there, 4 cars, in fact. With the Williams, Pascal Wehrlein and Kimi Räikkönen, they're all getting right up with each other. So hopefully, we should be able to get past them as they're going 3 wide through turn 2 there. Felipe Massa gets barged out of the way, and Pascal Wehrlein, they're doing very, very well to defend himself. But we move back up into P9 of the Grand Prix behind Kimi Räikkönen. And now moving on to the end, so midway around lap 12, sorry, as you can see, we're closing in on Kimi Räikkönen still. Hopefully, on these fresh tyres, we're going to be able to make a move on him very, very shortly here. But obviously, we want to keep the car intact as well. Hopefully, we don't make any contact with him, as he's also trying to have a look on the inside of Valtteri Bottas there. Obviously, the Finnish driver's going at it with myself, hoping, I don't know, they come together or whatever. We'll really slow each other down. But as you can see, obviously, with that extra 16 brake horsepower here, and the drag reduction, as you can see just how quick this Force India is in a straight line. The Force India isn't exactly a slouch usually, but now Bottas and Raikkonen have really slowed each other down here. We're going to move alongside Bottas as well now, and get the DRS on Kimi Räikkönen there, so that was an absolutely fantastic double overtake, whilst I was just talking about like drag reduction and things, but we managed to time it absolutely beautifully, just waiting for those two to come together, and we move up into P6, behind my teammate, in the Bahrain Grand Prix. And now moving on to lap 15, as we can see, we've closed in on Sergio as well. Sergio having a very, very strong race here at the moment. After he was meant to be starting in P14, but ended up in P11. I'm not really sure if penalties had occurred there or not, but I would have thought they would have showed up. But we've got the DRS on Sergio here. Are we going to be able to close in on him, just show him what this Force India can do? Obviously, it's against another Force India car, so Sergio is obviously in a very, very strong car at the moment as well. But hopefully, we may go for the dive bomb into turn 1, and we're going for it. We're going for it. We're going to run hugely right into turn 1 there. Pretty much squeezing Sergio out, but he managed to hold it up the inside there and just backs it into turn 2. Obviously not wanted to do what we did last year, where we actually made contact with him. He just completely turned in on us, going through the double left-hander last year. So luckily we managed to dispatch of our teammate of Sergio Perez there. And we are up into P4 of the Grand Prix behind Max Verstappen. But now, as you can see, as a couple more drivers have come to the pits, Daniel Ricciardo is making his pit stop. So we're going to move up into P2 of the Grand Prix here, behind Max Verstappen, who's also on a set of medium tyres here, Hopefully we should be able to close in on him over the next few laps, although he is on a fresher set of tyres. But hopefully, we never know what might happen here. He may come in for another pit stop, but we'll have to wait and see. But Sergio now is right on my gearbox without even noticing that, and he's going up the inside here. Is he going to be able to make the move stick? We're not going to try and fight him, as he's obviously got a quick set of tyres there, and we really want to get this to work for the team, so we're just going to let Sergio through. Hopefully maybe he may even be able to catch Max Verstappen or whatnot, really slow them both down. But coming through the fast chicane there, not really chicane, but still a fast couple of sweeping corners, we close in on Sergio once again here. Are we going to be able to make a move on him as we come through the DRS straight? I'm not really sure. We're in a very, very good position to do so. Just got to make sure we close right in and maximise our run onto the straight. Take a lot of curb on the entrance. Make sure we avoid the curb on the exit to not strive off any speeds. We can see we're right on Sergio's gearbox here as we keep flicking through the DRS. Not really sure what that's all about. As we close right up on him, we don't really want to go for an overtake at this stage, as it's just going to slow us both down. So we're actually going to stay behind Sergio here. And hopefully, if he comes in for a pit stop soon, or he can close in on Max Verstappen, we should be in a very, very good position, potentially a 1-2 here. But I think, Sergio will almost guaranteed have to do another pit stop. But coming down this back straight here, we've just got such a good run on Sergio. Don't really want to have to hold it behind him anymore. Just pretty much decided, but we're going to have a look on the inside, tend to get a hurry on him. He's locked up absolutely massively into the corner there. And we're just going to go down the inside there. Sergio obviously not really strategically thinking too well, as he's actually going to come in for a pit stop, as well as Max Verstappen there. So we move back up into the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. I can't get the right words out today, I don't know what it is. But still, back into the lead of the Grand Prix with 9 laps to go. These tyres, I'm not really sure whether they will last us to the end, as we've got to get 60% through. But as we can see now onto the final lap of the Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo has closed us in absolutely massively. He's having a look round the outside there, obviously with a lot fresher and quicker tyres. He's having a look round the outside, but he's not going to be able to make it work for himself. Rosberg there as well managed to try and go side by side with Daniel Ricciardo, and whether that will work out for Rosberg either, I'm not too sure at the moment. As you can see, they're still going side by side. Max Verstappen's looking very, very optimistic as well. But unfortunately, through the next couple of corners, we're not going to be able to get a good camera angle of it, as we go down the hill, so we're not going to be able to get a good shot of that. So unfortunately for us, it's a real shame, but still, hopefully, Daniel Ricciardo should be able to get past Rosberg. But still, moving on now to the final corner of the Grand Prix, we can see how much they closed us down, as Rosberg there is going to take P2 in the Grand Prix, doing a celebratory weave, and we've accidentally tagged the pit wall there. As we came to the end of the Grand Prix, had a huge, huge crash with Daniel Ricciardo, but, I'm not really too worried about that. Still celebrating, the fireworks everywhere. But that has been an absolutely incredible result for the team. Our first win of the season after a very, very solid point score last time out. If you guys have enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.